Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Silk Masquerades. We are so happy to have you join us this evening. Welcome, Benevito, bonjour. Want to say hello to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. And of course, let me stop this here. And I'm so happy to have you all join us. Looking forward to this afternoon's conversation with Jason Bulgin. I am so looking forward to this conversation. He is a lover of people. And so when I saw him speak on OUC Uncut, I knew that I wanted to talk to this gentleman. And so that is what we're going to do today. But before we get started, we are going to take care of some housekeeping. So if you are joining us on the replay, make sure that you leave a comment. Let us know that you were here. Have you join us? And for those of you that are watching, if you have questions or you have comments, please make sure that you place those into the comment section as well. We want to get them and we want to get them on the screen for you. So once again, welcome to Silk Masquerades. So want to bring to your attention, and I realize that I am talking to you guys, but you don't see me. Okay, so there we are. There we are. Hi, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I wanted to let you all know that we had 2 weeks ago, we had master hairstylist Anthony McClendon come on, and he shared so much information with us about hair care, especially during this pandemic, things that we can do to take care of our hair, and learned so much from him. But we had a raffle question, and so I want to share that with you now. Hair Dr. Anthony McClendon indicates that there are 4 types of hair. What are they? So we had some slow responses, but of course we did have someone that came up with the correct answer, and the correct answer came from Tamika Lee. Hey, Miko, you are the winner of a prize from Silk Masquerade. And as soon as that shipment comes in, I'll be sending it right on over to you. Thank you so much for participating. And in last week, we spoke with my daughter, with Madison. And so we've shared some information with you all, just mom and daughter chatter, mother-daughter chatter last week. And that was cool. That was pretty cool. And so we have a question that is out on the floor. Go to Silk Masquerades on Instagram, Silk Masquerades on Facebook, and you will see it. The question is, in episode number 5, who did Madison say gave her the best advice she's ever received, and what was that advice? Okay? Who did she say gave her the best advice she's ever received, and what was that advice? So make sure you take a moment and go and place your answers there in the comment section, and you will be entered into our next drawing. All right, everyone. So this afternoon, I am thrilled to introduce to you Jason A. Bulgin Sr. And I'm so happy to have him join us. We're going to find out who he is and what he's all about. So we're going to bring him to Silk Masquerade. Hello. How are you,
Hello.
Mr. Bulgin? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to be here. So glad that you could have me. I'm excited to be here and just have a conversation.
Yes, looking forward to talking with you so much. How has your day been?
Day has been good, productive. Got a lot of things knocked off the list, so it's been a good day. It's been a
Okay,
good day.
great, great. So I'm so excited. Like I mentioned, I saw you on OUC Uncut, and
Uh,
you, your presentation, your message was directed to me. And I
wow.
said, I have to get in touch with him. And so I am honored and humbled that you would be here to introduce yourself to us and to share a message with us. And so we want to start off this evening with you telling us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Who is Jason Anthony Bulgin Sr.?
That's a big question. Who am I? I'm a fun-loving person. Honestly, I love to see people grow, and I guess that's just an overflow of what I've come up in and how I've been raised and my experiences. I'm a son of I come from a pastor's home, so I'm a PK. So I've come up in the church my whole life. Doesn't mean I stayed in the church my whole life, but I've come up in the church my whole life and had many experiences just growing and developing. Had a strong foundation, and today I use all those things to just kind of tell my own story. It's the platform that I stand on, and it's taken me a while to become comfortable, totally comfortable with who I am and what God has called me specifically to do. But at this point in my life, I'm at a point where I can't apologize for who I am. I can't apologize for what God has blessed me with, and I can't apologize for the experiences that I've been through. I can embrace them, and I can just use them as a stepping stool for others to connect with others first of all, and then to inspire others also to grow and develop into what God has called them to be.
Wow, that is awesome. So tell me a little bit about where you grew up,
Mhm.
your education, and where that has led you, your family, all that good stuff.
So I grew up in Toronto, Canada. That's where I was born and raised. Lived there, just there and in the surrounding areas, till it was time for me to go to high school or go to college. Actually, college I went to Windsor University for 2 years. I played basketball and ran track there. We actually won what's it called, a national championship or the provincial championship. My second year there in university, and then I transferred to Oakwood University because while I was doing playing the sports, I wasn't also doing my keeping up with my schoolwork, so I had to transfer, and that's a whole story in itself. But I went down to Oakwood, had my last chance there, and really buckled down and got the work done, and did it there. So I graduated from Oakwood. Uh, I'm married. I have a wife, and we have 4 children. I have a daughter who's 18, one who's 17, and we have 2 younger boys, one who's 4, and the next one who's 1. We're about to be 2. It's just an exciting time in our household. We got kids getting ready to drive, and kids just running all over the place. So it's an exciting time. Um, but yeah, that's my family makeup and just where I am right now. What was the other part of it?
Just who you are, your family, your education, and you gave us all of that.
Okay,
So
so
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
So can you tell us experiences that you have had? You mentioned that there were some things that you had in your past that you didn't always stay in the church. What are some of those things that made a difference, made an impact in your life and on your life?
So one that really stands out to me, it was when I was getting ready to graduate from Oakwood University down in Alabama. I was at a point where I was really trying to figure out where my place was, where what I was in school doing elementary education, studying to be a teacher, and I knew it's what I was doing, but it wasn't what I was called to do. So I was really battling within myself, trying to figure out, okay, where is my place? Where do I fit in? I didn't. while I was in school doing that, I didn't necessarily feel at peace or rested in that decision. And through various conversations with different people, just trying to figure out where I should land. So I remember quite poignantly having a conversation with a friend and mentor, Pastor Damian Chandler, and we sat down. I think it was outside of a Panera Bread, and we were just talking about just life. And he asked me, um, what has God brought you through, basically, and it told me to take a look back, because at that point in time, I almost felt deserted, felt like alone, and I felt I couldn't hear where God was calling me to and what He really wanted me to do. And He just asked me to reflect on what God has brought me through. And it took a moment, and I kind of went through my life and saw all the things that He's kept me through, sustained me through. And it was one of those turning points where, okay, I decided, okay, God, I'm really going to open my ears to what you're saying. I'm really going to, be intentional about listening to where you're leading and what you're calling me to do. And I just made that decision in that moment to really listen. Come maybe wasn't even 2 weeks later, I was in a horrible car crash. I was ejected out of my car on my way back down to Huntsville from Toronto, Canada. It was probably about 11 o'clock at night, and I was ejected out of the car and left on the road. I fractured some bones in my face. I lost a tooth. I punctured my lung, fractured some ribs, had just contusions and everywhere. It was just really bad. And a cop happened to be passing by. I don't know how long I was out there. I remember waking up in the ambulance, um, giving my parents' phone number, and then knocking back out. I was probably maybe about 2.5 hours away from home and just left to get back on the road. So it was just a wild experience. But even in that experience, it wasn't one that I was upset about. It wasn't one that I was like, why is this happening to me? In that moment, as I sat in the hospital bed, barely able to move, it was like a light shone down on me, and it was like I realized what this moment was. It was just confirmation that I had made the right decision a couple weeks prior, to really listen to what God was saying. And in that moment, I was able to have peace moving forward, simply because I knew I was on the right track. And oftentimes, when we choose to make a decision for Christ and make a decision to do the right thing, something comes up against you. Something comes to push you back, or to set you back, or to set you back on the path that you came from. But I understood that in that moment, it was just confirmation that I needed to continue to follow what God was telling me to do.
Wow, that is oh, okay. That is some story and some experience that you've gone through. So, what difference has that made? That decision and that night. What difference has that made in your life?
Honestly, it's just given me an attentiveness to the Spirit's leading. I can be a very timid or cautious person, but I understand that when I'm working with God and walking with Him, I can't be timid and I can't be cautious. He pushes you out of your comfort zone. He leads you in places that you have no idea how it's going to end or how it's going to come together, but you have to trust Him. Then that's the whole faith journey. That's the whole faith walk. Trusting without sight, faith moving without being able to see what the next step is. And that's really where it's pushed me to, a place of faith, a place of trusting God, a place of just moving into spaces that are unknown, and just trusting that He's got me and that he's going to keep His promise towards me.
Wow. Okay. So, in making what I heard you say a couple weeks ago was pretty much what I just heard you say just now, was that we were never meant to live guarded and weak. And so when you say that, you have a tendency to want to hold back and be comfortable, you know, in you making that decision for Christ and moving forward with your life, what I heard from you is that that has made all the difference. So when you talk to individuals, how do you share that? What is it that makes a difference for someone else? Because I also understand that you are a musician, a
Mm-hmm.
yes, a musician.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And so, how does that play a role in your life?
Uh, it just I live from a place of really trying to express all that he's given me with all the gifts and talents. So whether it be through music, whether it be through spoken word from a pulpit, or coaching, one-on-one coaching, or mentoring, or those kinds of relationships, just trying to not necessarily um, be quote unquote churchy, but be relatable. There's so many experiences that I've had in my life that allow me to connect. And I think oftentimes we lose sight of what we've been through, that is an opportunity to connect with others. I always say nothing wasted in the master's hands, and no experience that you've been through is wasted. It's just something that you can pull from in order to connect with somebody. We People usually connect through, well, they most likely connect through points of joy or points of pain. And even when you see in the world today with all that's going on, it's those points of pain that you see really unite people. So it's not hiding those points of pain, but really unpacking them and opening it up so others can see and connect with that pain, but not to stay in the pain, but to grow from it, learn from the experiences and how you just maneuvered through it to overcome, and being able to share that in open dialogue that allows people to really connect and understand that process of growth and development.
Okay, that's uh, quite a strength because not everyone is capable of doing that. In fact,
Mhm.
I saw something where you once said that um, not every leader is capable of leading. Something
Mm.
to that effect that you said. So being able to share your experiences with individuals and having that to make a difference in their life and being relatable, yes, that definitely is impactful. Now you mentioned that um, coaching, and so what one of the things that I noticed that I want to share and have you tell us a little bit about is here,
Mm.
success coach.
Mm-hmm.
So, in this line of a business, what you're doing, how exactly, what kinds of people are you encountering? And what is it that they're wanting to do or that you're able to do for them that provides them success in their life?
So one of the things I've really encountered in my, I guess, professional career, and just even in life in general, the people that come to me, they're learning, or looking to kind of put things in order. I'm a very systematic person. I love systems. I love process. And even while I was an elementary teacher, it was great to begin the year at one point and see the children chart a path to graduation, or just to promotion at the end of the year through systems and repetition and adapting principles and things of that nature. So I just kind of carry that over into the professional space, into the coaching space and mentoring space, and really try to um, help people and encourage them by creating a pathway, walking with you and creating a pathway that talks about principles, talks about just different attitudes and mindsets. Because I think the mind is just one of the huge barriers that we need to get over in terms of just really turning into a new direction, and really getting to that next level. But just helping people change their minds and change how they look at things in order to just get over some hurdles. And I use those things to kind of I use those things to, chart people on a path to success. It's not an overnight thing; it takes time. So I appreciate the fact that I'm able to walk with people, kind of like even being a pastor. You walk with your congregants through highs and lows, getting them to a place where they're stronger, or they're well nourished in terms of the faith. And it's just it all encompasses, it all surrounds around loving to see people grow. I said at the beginning, I just love to see people grow and develop, and I'm using all different kinds of avenues to do that, whether it be through being on the pulpit, whether it be through professional development, whether it be through just sharing a book for someone to read. I just really want to see people grow and really reach their full potential. I think that potential can be a gift and can be a curse. I don't want to be a person that dies with, or when people talk about me, they say, "Oh, he had so much potential." I feel that's such a curse. I want to live where I just every day I maximize my potential. The morning when I wake up, I have a potential to do or accomplish everything on this list. Well, I want to max out that list and end the day empty. So I just want to pass that on to people and allow them to really get the tools to really maximize their potential and live it out to the fullest.
Okay. So in your description, I mentioned you're a musician. What exactly do you play? And are you producing music? What exactly, how does music play a role for you?
Music has been my first love. I started playing piano. We've always had a piano in our house, whether it be my older sister, she's classically trained. I came up behind her playing the piano. I took organ lessons for a while. I played the trumpet in middle school. A whole different. I tried almost every instrument, but music has kind of been the. I would see it as the soundtrack to my life through the ebbs and flows. So I kind of use it to kind of heal me. To be honest, it's a outlet to write almost like the soundtrack to what I'm feeling emotionally, and a way to get it out and connects with others. I mean, music really has no language barriers when you really listen to it and you kind of hear the notes and how it's put together. It can touch anybody, and I like to use that medium to share. Over the years, I've written quite a few songs and put them out, as well as written for others, and I find that just to be a healthy outlet for me. Most recently, I created a worship arm of what is known as the Edge Worship Community, where I want to build a space where I can bring together different worship leaders and musicians, and really create a culture of worship and arts. So whether it be singing, songwriting, be dance or things of that nature, just really create a space where they can freely express and we can put it out there for others to experience and be touched by.
Okay, that is amazing. So you are doing some of everything. You're a success coach, you're a pastor, you're a musician, you are actually, I think you did some book covers, if I'm not mistaken. So you have been keeping yourself busy. How has
Mhm.
life been during the pandemic for you?
Life has been yeah, busy is a good word. But one thing I said at the beginning of the pandemic, I don't want to come out of the pandemic the same. So my wife and I, we had some conversations, and we were just like, um, well, for me, I'm a person who's really behind the scenes. I like to do behind the scenes work, do the little things behind the scenes for everybody else, and I never really let people know what it is that I do. I just do it and it's done, and you see the results of it, but not knowing that I had handed or anything like that. So we were really intentional about, just saying what you do. Let people know your gifts and your talents and all that you offer and bring to the table. And that's what the pandemic has been for me. Just really being intentional about putting things together and really letting people know what I offer and what God has blessed me to be able to do. And then just through my experience, being able to share that with others and really lend a hand in terms of the growth and development of others.
Okay. And that will certainly keep you busy. So
Yes.
you mentioned the Edge worship community. And then you're also pastor of another church. Am I correct?
Yes.
Tell us
So I'm the pastor of the Mountain Zion Seventh Day Adventist Church in Erie, Pennsylvania. I actually started there, was placed there on March 7th, 2020. March 14th, 2020, all the churches here were shut down.
wow.
So I've been a virtual pastor, trying to learn people virtually. And the challenge with that is the population of that church is probably the median age is about 60. So I mean, we're in a technological age with people who are just not technological. So really trying to build that learning curve and trying to figure out what is the best way to reach people in that demographic. And it's been a challenge. It's been a fun challenge. I've learned a lot being with them, and we have definitely grown together in this pandemic. And I'm just thankful for that group of people who I've been blessed to serve over the last year. And then in addition to that, I planted a church in 2019 called the Edge Worship Community. We actually started out in Seattle, Washington, with a physical location. Was there for about 6 months, and then I put someone in place to carry on that vision there. And then when we actually kind of moved back to the East Coast, we kind of tweaked the vision a little bit, because there was much more that God had given me in terms of how it was supposed to go out. So there's a leadership arm of that worship, the Edge Worship Community. There's a music arm. There's a what do you call it? Growth and development arm, and just a whole different whole group of arms that go into the worship community, but just really trying to build and resource people to really become all that they want to be. Edge really stands for everyday God encounters. So I want people to be able to see God every day, in everything they do, be able to experience God and really highlight those moments. Oftentimes we miss miracles, we miss the move of God because we move so much in I guess the routine of things. But I want us to be able to step back and really see God and experience God and be identify the hand of God in what seems like the mundane. God is with us. He's all around us every day. And even now, when we see we're in the midst of pandemic, it's not a mirror. It's not a just happenstance that we've been able to stay connected. I think technology is a miracle in itself. The way that we're able to connect online from all different parts of the world, that's a miracle. And I don't take it lightly that we've been able to connect and stay connected in these times.
Okay. So I understand from your website, you have a website, and we are going to share your contact information if individuals are interested in keeping up with what you have going on. And I
Mhm.
think this is one of the screens from your website.
One of them, yeah,
Yes, yes, because you have several things going on.
yeah,
um, And in addition to that, for individuals that are looking for merch,
hmm yeah,
you
yeah. That's
have
it.
Love God, Love Music, your
Yes,
Love God collection. So tell us
yes,
how that came about and what it is all about.
yeah. So for years, I've been trying to figure out, uh, what really embodies me, what really sets me apart, what's one thing that's about me that people can connect with. And I love God, I love music, those are things. So why not encapsulate that? I have a lot of friends within the music community that share that same thing. I love God first, and I love music. So why not put it on a T-shirt, brand it, and put it out there for people to just really connect with and put out there. And it's going to be it's a whole collection. I have new ones dropping every month, but it's the Love God collection. So we're starting out with Love God, Love Music. There's one that's actually coming out real soon. It's Love God, Love Me, and that's just centering around that self-love, self-empowerment, knowing the value in yourself and being able to love yourself. We have some more coming on down the line, but those are the the ones that are the major ones that are out right now are about to be released. And I just really feel that once you put God first, your love of anything can come after that. And I believe that it's just an awesome opportunity just to share the love of God and share the witness of God, as well as sharing our love for other things. And it doesn't have to conflict with each other. Once you love God and your motives are in line, um, the other things will kind of fall into place. I believe they wholeheartedly will fall in place, and He will use all those things for His glory. You don't have to become a pastor to love God. You don't have to become a pastor to share the goodness of God. You can love God, share the goodness of God wherever you're planted, whether that be at a 9 to 5 and at what is it called, a restaurant, or anywhere. If you drive a bus route, or if you are a doctor, or if you are a professor, or if you are so many other things. There's so many areas that we all fall in. If you're a grocery store clerk, it really doesn't matter. Wherever you're planted, you have an opportunity to share the love of God through your attitude, through your emotions, how you connect with people, the relationships you build. You could be a stay-at-home mom and love God and love your children. And the way you choose to love your children will show how God has loved you. So I just want to be able to create a space and create a slogan that everyone can connect with. And that just goes along in line with that everyday God encounter. Anything you do from day to day you can see God in that. And I just want to be able to have a place or have a way for people to express that in their daily lives.
I think that that concept is something that lots of people are looking for.
Mm,
They are needing. Um,
yeah,
and so being able to do that is a wonderful thing. And yes, I'll be placing my order for my hoodie. So
thank you.
um,
Looking forward to it.
also wanted to find out from you, since you are a lover of music,
Mhm.
what exactly is Jason Bulgin listening to in the car?
Oh boy, it's a smorgasbord of music. It depends on the day. So, what did I listen to today? It all becomes a blur. This past week, I've been listening to Kier Sheard. I've actually had a song from my wife. We're getting ready to release it this week. All right. I've been listening to that a lot. He makes everything all right. That's what I've been listening to as of right now. What's another song I've been listening to? Let me pull up my phone. Red Hands. They're a group. Actually, they're based out of Cleveland. Red Hands Live. They just did a live recording. Listen to them a lot. It's just a real feel good music. It's not your typical gospel music, but it still has that positive vibe. And there's this. What's it called? What's the name of the song? My son always asks to listen to it. It's a country music song. Um, can't think of the name.
Okay.
Please don't hide. But it's a country music song talking about love. But it's a song for him and his mom. They play it in the car for each other. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But yeah, that's what I'm listening to. I play it every morning. He requests it every morning in the car. And then of course the little one asks for Baby Shark. So I hear that a
Oh,
lot too.
okay. Yes, yes, you did say 2 years old. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would make sense. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. So, what are any upcoming plans and projects that you have? I know you mentioned a couple of them just a moment ago when you talked about new merchandise that's coming out,
Mhm.
new
Yeah.
music that's coming out. Any other um, plans or projects that you have in the works that you'd like to share with the people?
Yeah. So I have a few things in the queue. I tell you, I've been busy during the pandemic. I am currently finishing off two books.
Oh,
One is entitled "The Denominational Divide," and that's just talking about the different how we've been separated uh, through different avenues in the church. and how the walls of denominations have kind of been blurred, and just addressing that from I guess, a millennial perspective, and what it means to be a part of the church at this point in time, and what it really means to be a part of a community, a church community. So really tapping into that. And then the second one is entitled "What I Learned from Her," and then subtitle "About Being a Man," and that really taps into my past and women that I've encountered in my lifetime, and different lessons that I learned about being a man from the woman in my life. So whether it be my mother, a girlfriend I had, or sisters, just women that I've encountered throughout my lifetime, and different lessons that I learned about becoming a whole man that I learned from women.
Wow. Okay. So that's definitely going to be something that we need to look out for, and we'll be on
Definitely.
the lookout for that release.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So, is there anything else that you would like to share? A word of encouragement for the audience? Um, any final thoughts from Jason Bolt?
Oh man, there's always so much that runs through your mind when you have that question. Any
Wow.
final thoughts? But honestly, what's really on my heart right now is that I just want to see people win. I mean, I just sat in the living room this afternoon, on the edge of my chair, watching the verdict come out for the George Floyd and trial with Officer Chauvin, and it was like you hoped for the best, but at the same time, as a black man, you were nervous. You really couldn't breathe in the moment because you really didn't know what was about to happen. And I believe that even now more than ever, we don't have time to waste. We don't have time to waste in terms of really standing up for one another, really uniting, really being a presence, and making our voice heard and known. So I just really want to encourage all of us to really get in tune with what God is saying for you. We all came here. We've been appointed for this time for a specific purpose, and understanding what our purpose is, and understanding what God has really called us to do, and really embodying that, going all in on that, and not allowing fear to deter us, not allowing the naysayers to deter us, and not allowing anything to deter us, but really just getting to the point where we're all in on what God has called us to do. I had a slogan called "Live on Purpose," and it's just really tapping into what God has called us to do. Just living life with a reckless abandon, not in a negative connotation, but just in a way that we actually allow God to be God. And when you go on a ride with God, when you really tap into what God has for us, it's undescribable. It's indescribable. It's something that you can't plan. It's something that you can't understand, but you know that He's got you every step of the way. If you step in faith, He will be there with you every step of the way. So I just want to encourage us to really go all in for what God has. Go all in on your purpose. Go all in what God has called you to do, and watch Him take care of you. Watch Him make ways where there seems like there's no way. Watch Him just blow your mind and show you miracle after miracle as you walk in faith.
Amazing, amazing encouragement. And I am sure that not only was that encouragement for me, but it is encouragement for someone else as well. I want
Gotcha.
to thank you so much for
Mm,
coming and sharing who you are and what you're about. It has been a pleasure
mm,
getting to know who you are and what your ministry is about. And
mm,
I want to thank you so much for
mm.
taking the time to come and to talk with us this afternoon.
Definitely been an honor. I'm just blessed to be a part of this awesome platform.
Yes, thank you. And your information is in the description.
Mhm,
Anyone wants to get in touch with you or follow you,
mhm,
social media, it's
mhm.
there for
Yeah,
Jason Bulgin. So you can check that out. It is in the description, as
yeah.
well as his contact information. So thank you again for coming and for being our guest today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Sit tight for me. Okay, so that was Jason Bulgin. And we are so excited and happy and honored to have him come and talk with us this afternoon. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I have. So we want to thank him for coming. And we want to let you all know that coming up on next week, we are looking forward to some excitement. We're going to have Shelly Spain, and she is going to be coming and sharing with us a bit of home decorating ideas and tips. She is a home decorator, and so she is going to be sharing that information with us. So please make sure that you stay tuned for that coming up from Shelly Spain, and she will be sharing with us so much information. She has a Facebook group, a YouTube page, so make sure you keep a lookout for Principal Decor. And we are going to have some fun on next weekend with Shelly Spain. Thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. I hope you've enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the upcoming episodes. And we will keep in touch with each of you. So when you decide to go about your day all this week, make sure you remind someone, tell someone, share with someone what is going on here at Silk Masquerades. That sound means that we've come to the conclusion of another episode. Thank you all for joining us. Looking forward to it next week, right here, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Silk Masquerades on tap. And if there's something missing in your smile, maybe it's time for you to bloom right where you're planted. And then come tell us about it, okay? Let's get into it. Peace and blessings, everybody. Have a good evening. Bye.